All right, we hot. We bike with another one. It's the RoundHouse RoundTable. Better than motherfucking cable. You already know what you here for. We don't gotta go over it. It's me and Monty T, and we got B in the building. And you know we're gonna bring it like we always bring it. So let's get it.
I swear my glow up in lightning. Hot yeah, something like lightning. This shit a hit on my psychic. She want me lick, I'm excited. See, I feel that's my business, and that's why I'm business minded. Need a push, get behind it. It's a science, apply it. Words come to words, and tried it. Get it bad, get inspired. Shoot your shot, just the effort. I admire. You're high, it ain't looking for friends at this point.
Oh my God,
my circle is smaller than the point.
No cap.
I'd rather sit in voice than hearing the fake on their voice.
We already All right. We back. We here. How you doing, B?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm a little anxious about this up and coming weekend, but we'll get there.
Because it's like as the anxiety builds, it's like the week slows up. But we here for it either way. It's like, here, take my money. Take my money. We need to see this. We need to see how this work out. But we here for UFC Vegas 64.
Rodriguez versus Lemos.
This was a good one.
This was a good one. I appreciated the prelims, and the prelims looked like the main event.
Mm-hmm.
How they was just running through their opponents, but I enjoyed this one.
Yeah, everybody was putting it all out there for sure. Even when the commentary was talking about people not putting it all out there and all that, like everybody was kind of pushing it. Pace was being pushed from both ends in every fight, pretty much.
Yeah.
We're going to start it off with a no-cap recap. Who's first up? Tamirez Vidal versus Ramona Pascal. Mm-hmm. This went to Vidal round one. One knee to the gut. No, to the solar plex right there. Like, I know some of y'all out there been hit right there in that top part of your stomach. On this side. That part of your stomach. And you couldn't breathe for a second. That's what happened, And it was from double knees, like jump double knees, up double knees, whatever you want to call it. And it was because people were pushing it. And that's what happened. Pascal really was looking good as well up until that moment. She was landing. Boxing looked good. Vidal had that extra edge where she was determined to get it done and get it done early.
Pascal came in overweight. There was 4 fighters that came in overweight on this fight card. I think that's what, pushed the agenda a little bit more with some of them. So.
They was trying to go on strike. But the opposite way. But like they wasn't denying the food. They wasn't going on a food strike.
My God.
They was going on an overweight strike. Break the scale strike. But not break the scale. I don't know why that was just the first thing that popped in my head. But like, that's what the strike would be called if it was a strike. Break the scale strike. But a lot of people came in overweight as if they were trying to do it. Well, they can't find us all. Yes. They can. And they will. But a lot of it was short notice though, so it's just like, hey, I appreciate the people picking up the fights, but like it put things in perspective for the rest of their careers. Just like, oh shit, I can't be dancing around this weight because I can be getting a call, especially when I'm expecting the call.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vidal. She got performance of the night.
Yes, she did.
So one of the ones who got performance of the night. Next, we got Carlos Candelario versus Jake Hadley. And this was a round 2 finish. I like the boxing on both ends. I'm going to say that. Both people were being defensive. And but Jake Hadley definitely was touching a little bit more.
Yep.
I think Carlos was mixing it up more.
But Jake, he was quicker. It seemed like he was just like 2 steps ahead and he just couldn't keep up. And he got caught. But he sat in that triangle for a bit. It was like he was dazed and confused. He was trying to figure it out. I don't know if he was trying to run the clock out, but he sat there for a minute and you thought he was like trying to maneuver it out. No, he was just sitting there not doing anything. And then he went and grabbed that leg. Oh, it's all over now. And then he got the tap. But I was trying to figure out, like, what is he doing? And he wasn't doing anything. So maybe he was confused too and surprised that it happened. I don't know, but
that's when people teach you one layer of triangle defense.
Yeah, because he did posture up immediately.
He just postured up.
He was clear. He was not.
Shame on you, coach, that just taught him one layer of the triangle defense. and he going up against Jake Hadley. My thing is, he just postured up. He thought that was it.
He did.
and that's when he broke the posture back down. And that's when he sat in the triangle like, okay, maybe his legs will get tired, because in the gym, everybody's legs get tired and then they just let me go. No. That's not how that worked. Back to the mats. That's kind of how that goes. Shout out to Jake Hadley on getting it done, on being nice on the ground, like not just allowing him to posture up and let your legs go, and being patient with the submission. So shout out to him to get it done. And his boxing was looking nice too. So
yeah.
But Johnny Munoz versus Ludwig Sholinian. Came through with the unanimous. Johnny Munoz pretty much outclassed him.
Ludwig, worked him round 1 and 2.
Yeah, and then that's when Ludwig came through with this will to win at the end.
Yeah, round 3.
And that just didn't save it. I thought they might have botched it, because he was having moments in first and second, but not enough really to win it. Right. And in third, so it's like he really tried to show up in the third to really try to take the win, but that didn't go for him. Unanimous all day. Like that was good on the judges. I'm glad they didn't botch that one.
Yeah, he was trying to get the KO, and then it's like Munez was getting caught up a bit. So he was throwing those big shots back, but he was also getting hit by some of those big shots. I was like, man, just like, I hope this is not where, you're trying to match hit and then you get knocked out. And luckily he was able to evade enough to not allow that to happen. So I was appreciative, because he did work hard in round 1 and 2. So
yep, shout out to him having composure.
Oh yeah.
And I was confused as to why Carlos Candelario and Jake Hadley didn't get a performance of the night. Oh, because I think Carlos was overweight.
I think that's what it was.
But I didn't know that you can get a performance of the night if you was overweight. I didn't know that. If you came in overweight, I didn't know that you can.
They kind of just like botch it. It's like, why would I reward you? Just what I've been noticing, like people who get TKs O's off of injuries, they're not getting performance of the night either, because I guess they're not trying to glorify the injury or whatever the case may be, even though you got the TKO and it happened in the fight and your weapons failed you in a sense. It's like, we don't want to glorify you not making weight and think you're going to get a performance of the night, no matter how good you do.
But the first girl, Vidal didn't make weight and she got performance of the night. So that means that's kind of...
No, Pascal didn't make weight.
Oh, no, it was Pascal. Yeah, it was Pascal that didn't make weight.
She didn't make weight.
Oh, okay. True. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, because the 3 people, like in the beginning, it was the trend of them losing. And then one came through and won, even though he was the overweight one. But we'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah. So speaking of performance of the night,
man, this was crazy. This one was crazy.
Polyana Viana versus Jinyu Frey.
I was just about to go into it.
Polyana came through with the knockout.
Yeah, apparently she's been throwing that flying knee all throughout camp, and her team was happy when she landed it, and she just put her pieces together at the end. She did not let that girl recover. So I am appreciative that she got that killer instinct to see when her opponent is even stumbled for a minute. She went in and got the job done, because I was a little nervous. That girl was buff as hell. I was like, man, if she land, that might be lights out for her. So we were both surprised when we saw this.
I was surprised the way she put it together at the end for sure. And that she did snap right into it. Like once she saw the knee kind of stunned her, it was just like, oh, I got it. Go. Because if you look at her last fight, she pretty much just laid on her back. And I guess they were telling her to be more exciting. So I guess she has that capability to just turn it up when she wants to. So, hey, more power to her. Definitely looking forward to the next fight.
She kind of reminded me of Juliana Pena a bit.
And the thing about it is she has a good ground game too. She has a good jiu-jitsu package. Like I won't say wrestling and all that, but shout out to her for getting a W and performance of the night.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Jinyu Frey came through strong in hell. Strong. I was worried about her getting knocked out too, like because at first Polyana's stance wasn't looking too sure like that was going to happen.
Yeah,
and that knee came and it was just like, oh, all right, bet, work it. Next, Mario Batista versus Benito Lopez. Benito Lopez just wasn't his night at all.
He came in overweight too.
He came in overweight. He was going against Mario Batista, who was in great shape and trying to run through guys. So this was a first round submission.
The arm bar from the triangle. He looked like that was just his flow. He was just in his world. Everything he wanted to land with, he landed with. He looks phenomenal out there. It was great to watch.
Heavy shots too.
Super heavy.
That's the main thing I could think about with him. His intentions when he landed was bad. So he really wanted to do damage, and Benito Lopez just kind of when he got caught in that triangle, he was already ready to be done. So
yeah, he made some adjustments and then got the arm bar, but it was a very dominant position. He as soon as he got on the ground, he started dominating on the ground. So he looked great on his feet and on the ground. It's just I'm excited to see what's next for him. Who's next? What is that gonna look like? Yeah,
like bantamweight looking crazy, but like I said about flyweight, flyweight doing his thing, but bantamweight always got some dogs going. Speaking of some dogs, you got Miranda Maverick versus Shanna Young, and this one was unanimous for Miranda Maverick. She just got it done. Well, not really got it done, but she got it done. The W against Shanna Young.
Shanna Young cut her dreads off to make weight. She didn't want to be the fifth fighter to come in overweight, but I was like, man, let me go see what she cut off. She cut off her dreads. Her dreads. Yeah. So I was like,
why you say that like that?
Yeah. But Miranda took it down. It was easy to keep Shanna Young there. Apparently Shanna Young's been on the ground before and still hasn't evolved her ground game. It's just like, I don't know what kind of record you think you will have if you don't develop your ground game and people know that's a weakness of yours. Miranda went and made all the right changes to develop her ground game because she didn't want to get stuck there anymore. That's what you're going to have to do.
Yeah. I thought this was kind of like a mismatch in the first place. Like I was like, Miranda Maverick is definitely going to get this W. Like if anybody was to put some money down, they should know Miranda Maverick was going to get this one. Miranda Maverick's wrestling is just like far past Shanna Young's, and like you saw that inside of like in that fight. So and her hands were looking good, and that's all she needed.
Yeah, they were kind of equal in the hands. It was just like hard to distinguish what was going to happen if they stayed up on their feet. But that's why Miranda took it to the ground.
Exactly.
Smart move on you, girl.
Exactly. But that's the thing. If she can get her to take it down, and it was like she did it with ease. So it was just like if you can do it with ease, just keep doing it then.
Yeah, she was having a hard time getting up. She went belly down. But the thing that I did like about Shanna Young, she didn't give up. She was staying active, still trying to get up. But you gotta work that in training, girl. The time is not in the match, the UFC. That's not the time, but to work it in training. So, but I think she's going to take a lot from this and go back and work on her ground game a bit more.
Got to.
Hope so.
Yeah, speaking of, we were talking about a lot of wrestling.
Woo-wee, he made a mockery of this man.
Whole lot of wrestling. And this was elite too. Like
Grant Dawson defeats Mark O. Madsen. He said he was going to beat that man where he shined the most. Mark is an Olympian wrestler. So Grant Dawson said he was going to grab at his legs and make it so he can't wrestle because he's always thinking about his legs. And that's exactly what he did. He dominated the crap out of this man from round 1 and round 2. Didn't let him set anything up. He was just all over it.
Yep. This is one of those times Grant Dawson leaned into his wrestling against another good wrestler. And Grant Dawson's wrestling is looking elite. God damn. Like, and it's like, I'm telling you, like, sometimes like being closer to those fundamentals is so much better than being like elite Olympian all the way at the highest level, because it's like there's so many at that time, like you got so many holes in your game compared to somebody that is like at a certain point closer to the fundamentals. I could appreciate Grant Dawson coming in and just like really getting it done against Mark Madsen. That rear naked choke was elite. By that time, Mark Madsen was doing like this fake tap because it looked like he tapped earlier in the fight.
Yes,
but
like what was up with that?
Exactly, it was like a fake tap, and then that's when, and no, I guess nobody noticed it. And then when he was about to tap the official time, he did this kind of fake tap on the top of his head first, and then he did his official tap. But that was kind of weird. That's what I will say. That's like a little tactic that some people have that you do in a gym just to get people to loosen up before you. No, I didn't tap. Nah,
that happened a couple times to me.
Yeah, shout out to Grant Dawson. Yeah, like that's a Jacob. Don't be a Jacob. Grant Dawson, big W. Mark Madsen is one of those guys. So keep going up, and I'm looking forward to his next lightweight. Lightweight is looking crazy too.
Yeah,
My flyweight and lightweight really looking like that. Tagir Ulanbekov versus Nate Maness, and this was a round one. Get him done. Nate Maness just changed weights. Now he's in flyweight. He was in bantamweight, I believe, before this. So he went down. Somebody still got it done. So Tagir, shout out to you on getting it done. Those guys from Russia are not playing.
Yeah, they sick of people trying to, drop down and think it's going to be a cakewalk coming into their division. So each time that happens, they're trying to make a statement like, this ain't what you want. You thought it was going to be easier. No, it just got harder for you.
And it did. Now he has to work out of this, in a new division, which is like a wilder division now. Like, you tripping? Why? Why you do that? You was cool. You was that. You coming to flyweight like that? No, flyweight is not fucking playing. And as you can see, Tagir showed you straight out the cut. Like, this is probably the second time I think I heard Tagir's name. And it's just like, that's just Tagir. We're not even at the top of the division yet. Like, these guys go for real. But Nate, you shall learn. You shall learn. You might want to throw on the weight back a little bit and just go up. Fuck it. And go back up. Say, you know what? Them flyweight motherfuckers, y'all can have that.
Or just bounce around, till you find somebody you can beat.
That's not how that goes. That is not how that goes. But next, Derek Minner versus Shaylon Northern Becker. And this was round one. Get him done.
Yep.
Shaylon is definitely doing his thing throughout the division, throughout the featherweight. And I'm not seeing a lot of people that really can stand up with him, because he has that pressure when it comes to the power. But Derek Minner really did not stand a chance.
He didn't kick that man hip.
Like he didn't stand a chance. You said he kicked his hip?
He kicked the hip. It looked like the toes hit the hip, and then his knee looked like it messed up. Then he went in to kick it again just to see how bad can it be, and it was bad. But Shaylin, he saw it, and he immediately went in, got that killer instinct to get the job done if you're not going to stop it now with this injury. So shouts out to him, being able to recognize that and go in and get the job done.
Yeah. Speaking of one, killer instinct, get the job done. Neil motherfucking Magny versus Daniel Rodriguez. Got the submission. Daniel Rodriguez was on a run. And I think this is like a ball never lies type thing. Because his last fight versus Li Jingling, and Neil Magny, I think Li Jingling versus Neil Magny Li Jingling will give Neil Magny a lot of problems. But Daniel Rodriguez, I don't think he won that last fight. I don't feel like that. And I feel like this Neil Magny fight was like a ball never lies moment, and us really seeing how Neil Magny's jiu-jitsu is progressing, and he's really turning up. Like, we saw a new level of Neil Magny. Like, he probably see a lane where he can make it to the championship level, and then Daniel Rodriguez was definitely the guy to see about that. So shout out to Neil Magny. That was a big W.
Yeah, it was, but Neil Magny was taking a lot of unnecessary shots, and I was getting very nervous. I'm like, you can't take too many more of those, which is why I think they ended up going to the ground. Like round two, he kind of laid back a bit. Round one, he was very active, But round 2, he starts showboating a bit more, even though he's taking these shots like, you didn't knock me out, but hey, they adding up. And I can see your head ricocheting. I can see the progression that's happened afterwards. I want to slow that down a bit. And I guess his corner was like, we need output. You need to get somewhere safe, apparently. And the ground was the best option for that. Because if they had stayed up on their feet, it wasn't looking good for Neil Magny. I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but he got it to where he needed to get it to win this fight. He was making some really good shots, but once he got Rodriguez on the ground, he was just kind of stuck there. He was doing like very minimal to get up, and it seemed like he didn't know what to do when he was down there, which was great for Neil Magny, but that was 13 and 14. Like, as you go down in the division, you're gonna have to step that up a bit. I really don't want to take anything away from him, but like, you can't be showboating like that, getting headshots like that.
Well, what I'm even though I don't know if I feel like I was more worried about the shots he was going to take more so than the shots he actually took, because this is like the shots he did take made me feel worried about the shots he would continue to take, because it's like Daniel Rodriguez was like building momentum out of like anger and shit.
Yep.
And it's just like, and he was starting to land, especially like at the end of round 1 or round 2.
Yeah.
Like he got that quick little combo in there. So that's why at the end of like, I think end of round 2, Neil Magny was like, hold on, let me take you back, or let me take you down to the ground real quick right before this bell go off. But he exploited Daniel Rodriguez's game. So if he knew he was going to have a Daniel Rodriguez fight, so what did he do? Study footage. Nobody takes this man down. My jiu-jitsu is getting better. I'm going to take this man down and I'm going to submit him. So that's what exactly what happened. So that's why I'm saying, like, that's why for real, like, I can't, like, as many shots he did take, I've seen Neil Magny take more shots and still stand up. And that's why I was like kind of worried, but I was like, I seen him take more shit. But I know,
I understand that, but you chipping at your shield each time. So you're not going to be as strong as you were. You're not going to be able to take as many shots as you have before. Neil Magny's been in this over 15 years, and it just, like, in round 1, it looked like he was just thinking about, man, I can't do this too much longer. I can't keep taking shots like this. This is not what I plan to do for the next 3 years. It looked like he was having that conversation with himself as he was taking those shots in this fight. So I think he's gonna try to get as many fights as he can within the next 2 years, because he know there is no long-term benefit to this. You can't keep taking shots like this. And I'm sure this is not something you want to continue to put your body through. So I think he's going to try to get to that, title shot faster now, because he 35. They both 35, but he's been around a lot longer.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's a part of the game, and that's like the way age works. So it's just like, I'm sure he is trying to find that lane. It seemed like he found the lane, and that's the trajectory he's trying to go towards now. And like, hey, wish him the best towards that, because he definitely displayed like a good altogether well-rounded package when it comes to, because his boxing, I ain't gonna lie, his boxing was looking good still. Like, he was touching, the jab was the way it was, the jab was touching every time he needed to touch, even all in the first round. Like, but Rodriguez was just having moments. So Neil Magny seemed like he was punching with a little bit more bad intentions, so more so than just those little little shots. He looked like he was hitting and really putting pressure on them shits, and that's what really, that's what probably got him to that point of the submission at the end. So, like, shout out to him. We're getting a W, and we're gonna keep it moving to the main event.
I don't know why my dog was the underdog. Like, they played with her in a sense. Like, y'all tripping on this one. Once I saw she was the underdog, I was like, man, I was supposed to bet that time, because she definitely came through. Like, I don't know what y'all thought. This is Amanda Lemos defeats Marina Rodriguez with some punches. Yeah, what you thought?
With some punches.
Yeah.
And B, you was going for her. You was like, you wanted Lemos to win. And I remember being in the gym and talking to Coach Jordan and be like, all right, I think Rodriguez got it, like, during the week. And then Saturday morning, I was like, nah, I think Lemos got it. I was like, I slept on it. I slept on it, and I'm sure Lemos got it. Even though, if people want to argue, people want to just have some shit to talk, and say that it was stopped a little bit early. I hear you. But hands were down. Hands were down. Now, that's what I'm saying. If you want to have that argument, it's cool. It's cool. Like, we saw the hands down but at the end, her hands did go back up, but it wasn't in a protective way. It was in a survival way. Like, my brain can't really operate right now, but make whatever is hitting me stop. Like, it was like, that's kind of like what that operation was. And the ref saw that. Lemos saw that.
Yep. She went in.
He was going in.
Yes. And there was an intense fill-out session in round 1 and even in round 2. Like, they started to up it a little bit more in round 2, but they were still filling each other out. And they respected each other's power, and you knew it could be out like any minute. But there was no way Amanda Lemos was going to lose that fight.
Yeah. I'm surprised that she don't want to run it back with Andrade.
You want to run it back with whoever wants to, whoever is in her way. I'm sure it'll come about.
End up being, but their boxing, both of their boxing was looking good. I was impressed. Like, this was a really good main event. Even though Lemos got it done, I was surprised because Rodriguez has just been kind of like just putting hands on a division, and Lemos, same, but they both had their, I think, had their losses coming up, but at the same time, 2 hard hitters. Great event put on.
There was definitely a size difference. Marina, she looked very depleted, like she didn't really have any power back in her. Yeah. So, like, I already knew just based off that, Amanda, her body was built for the power. And she didn't look depleted at all. She looked like she was very healthy.
It looked like that's the weight that she need to be at. That's where she need to be fighting everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like Marina had to lose a bunch of weight to get there. And she didn't look healthy. I wouldn't be surprised if she go up a weight class. She might be better off there. Absolutely.
But that was UFC Vegas 64. No cap recap. But next week, real quick. Next week, this week, we got UFC 281 Adesanya versus Piera.
Yeah.
The rematch.
Yeah.
The run back.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be a good fight though. I think Izzy gonna be like strategic and try to keep his point system type vibe and get in where he can get in and then take him down. I think it's gonna be something like that.
And then I went to look at Pereira's last 3 fights, and he hasn't really fought anybody of caliber like Adesanya has his last 3 fights. And so I was just trying to see what was on display there, and there was just not much display there. I don't know. Just like Izzy said, this is MMA. It's different, but I would not be surprised if Pereira got a ground game. I wouldn't be surprised. Or even just like the defenses, but they're 2 kickboxers. Hopefully it's a stand-up kickboxing match with a little bit of, sprinkle in and see what happens. But is he trying to knock this man out and prove a point?
Yeah, even if he don't prove a point, I think he's gonna try to submit him because he's like, this is MMA. Like, so like there's other ways.
Yeah.
There's other ways to get you out of here.
Yeah.
And I think that Izzy's smart because he didn't let him do a Leon Edwards and get 9-fight winning streak, because it's not the fights. It's the training in between all those fights that is impactful. So what Izzy's doing is smart. He's saying, hey, all right, he got 3 wins. All right, that's enough. I ain't about to let you get on no fucking run streak, all that. No, let me see you now. You know what I'm saying? While I got all my experience, while I'm in my prime, while I'm feeling the best that I can feel, let's do this right now. So I think that's the approach that Izzy is taking. And Piera is probably like, I beat him twice, so what the fuck? Let's do this right now. So, and I think that's why he's probably feeling like that. But I think Izzy's gonna show him what MMA is for real. Maybe I think he's gonna show him what MMA is, and the off chance that Piera knocks him out. That is the other
nervous side.
Yeah, not a nervous side, but like that's the flip side of the coin. The coin is he points him and or knocks him out. I don't know about a submission, but him working with Glover Teixeira is a huge deal. And I don't take that for granted.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But I know all the Niger boys hooked up, linked up
Yep.
They working on something. So, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm not nervous, because people who have been holding on to their belts got their belts taken. And, Amanda got hers back. I wholeheartedly believe Kamaru is going to get his back. But is this that time where that happens
transfer?
It transfers, but it comes right back. But it's still that transfer that has to happen. So that's just that thing that doesn't sit well with me. Look at Charles Oliveira. My heart still hurt for that one. Still slowly getting over that one.
That's, like, it's certain guys they'll let them get them run back. But like, they not trying to do that for certain champs like Oliveira. Like, Oliveira was the champ. Like, they not about to let him get that back one more time. Like, he was supposed to have the belt in the first place.
Yeah.
But it's just like, all right, I ain't about to get back on that.
Yeah. But try not to think about it. So
looking forward to that though. So that's what's coming up next week. UFC 281. And we just did no cap recap.
I want to see her
Zhang Weili.
Yeah, she gonna get her belt back.
That's a hot take.
Yeah. I'm calling it right now. She gonna get her belt back.
Zhang Weili gonna get it. Okay. We'll see. But that was another episode of RoundHouse RoundTable. Make sure y'all rock with us, or else we're gonna find y'all.
All right, that's not happening.
We're gonna come to your homes and open your doors.
That's not what we're doing.
And leave a pamphlet and say, hey, listen to the RoundHouse RoundTable on all streaming platforms.
Mm-mm.
And then, hey, we might pop up at your church.
Nope, definitely not doing that.
We might pop up at your church and be like, hey, listen to the RoundHouse RoundTable on all streaming platforms, Apple, Amazon, Google.
Nope.
All of that. Twitter. Nope. We're talking big shit on Twitter. Talking huge shit on Twitter. Even B.
Armani's talking. I don't have a Twitter. I don't know how to work Twitter.
And we're on Instagram. We're on Instagram, and we already got blocked from Uriah Hall. So we on a run. We're really on a run right now.
Why'd you get blocked? Because it wasn't me.
Uriah Hall, unblock us, bro. Come on.
Why'd you get blocked?
Unblock us. Because when he lost his Sean Strickland fight, he got in his feelings, and because I don't want no beef with Uriah Hall. Come on, we fuck with Uriah Hall, but like, he was wilding in that Strickland fight. You know it. You're boxing. All right, and we out of here.
I use the heat as a sword, cause keep the peace is important. They go keys for you. Say please. That's one, please. Don't need. No one, that's two, please. Don't leave. That's 3, 4. If you do.